My name is Utkarsh Raj. I am the student of third year BSc-PPU batch, and I am giving a presentation of DBMS under the guidance of Anjay sir, and my topic is AR model and entity. Here, a brief description of AR model. The full form of AR model is entity relationship model. It is a conceptual model, and it is introduced by PP Chen, and it not only AR model but also describing its technique. Here model, it is of three types. First one is the entity, second one is the attribute, and third one is relationship. Entity is of two types. First one is strong and second one is weak. Here attribute is of six types, which is namely key attribute, composite attribute, multivalid attribute, derived attribute, simple attribute. And here is relationship, which is one to one, one to many, many to many. And I have to describe mainly entity and its types. Entity is a real word in class, object, person, event, etc. And here is a simple example which I have taken. There is two examples. First one is place, and first one is person, and second one is place. Under the person, there is a two persons from which we can create a table like faculty and the employee. And here is a place, that is namely room, branch, office, etc. And the entities of two types, that is mainly strong entity and the weak entity. A strong entity is called independent entity, in which at least one attribute is defined as a primary key. It is represented by a single rectangle, that is I have mentioned, which is student. And the weak entity is called dependent entity, which is in which its existence depends on another entity, which is namely maybe a weak entity or a strong entity. And the weak entity does not depend on it has no sufficient attribute which has defined as a primary key, and it is represented by a double outline rectangle, which is I have mentioned here the attribute marks. Here I have taken a small example related to weak entity and strong entity. Here I have taken entity student, which is a strong entity, and here is an example of weak entity, that is marks. And I have correlated this both entity with the diamond shape that shows a relationship between both entity. Here are three attribute, ID, name, and course, which is represented by oval shape. And here four attributes, ID, subject name, subject code, and subject what, which is represented by already oval shape. And here both there is a ID, and the student ID is defined as a primary key, and here marks ID is correlated with this ID, so this is a foreign key. Thank you very much.